Okay, so I think I've got it set up now. I decided I'd stand for this one because it's going to be a long one, decently long. Let me just actually show you what you guys are on right now. So I don't have a tripod or anything like that. So you guys are kind of just on my shoe rack that I took all my shoes from, right there, and on top of a game console box because I'm cheap, which is another reason why you guys should subscribe, because I have no money. First order of business, by the way, I checked my analytics the other day. 87% of you aren't subscribed, so I'm just gonna have to ask you a question real quickly. What's good? You're watching. It takes you 2 seconds to click a button, so just once more, what's good? Just go ahead and click it. Second order of business, I guess. My first week in New York. That's what this video is about. It's a story. My first week. I'm just gonna jump into it. The first thing that happened here in New York was obviously that I moved, but the second thing, I got locked out of my apartment. It was a huge ordeal. Right there, my key, whenever I tried to turn it, put it in to turn it, it just was jammed. I have no idea what ended up happening. I know that I was sitting there waiting, and the building manager came, and he helped me out. He actually went around the back of the building, put a ladder up, and jumped through the window, and then came through the other side and unlocked it. So that was a big thing for him. He oiled it up with some WD-40 and it works now. Great, but that, just to pile on, that was one of them. Third thing for me, or I guess second, whatever, second, we're going with second. As anybody goes to a new area of where they live in New York is just even more complicated. Just multiply it by 30, because I have to learn the subways, which train to take, to go where, and of course, I don't know where any of my interviews are scheduled. Sub note, I've been on 100 different, applied to 100 different jobs. Let me just pull up my Indeed thing and show you. I have applied to 104 different jobs. Now, obviously, I haven't been on 100 interviews, but consider it, I was busy during that first week. I went on, probably ended up being around, I don't even know the number. I don't even know the number of job interviews I went on. I lost count because of all the stuff that was going on at the same time. So back to getting lost, it's normal. You gotta realize that it's super normal to get lost, and I had to realize it too. I think I ended up walking at the most 7 blocks the wrong direction at one point, and then pulled up my Google Maps, which also was a little iffy, and had to find my way back. But that's mostly because I was cocky and thought I was good enough now. On my second day, I was like, I don't need the maps, screw them, and then I ended up getting lost. So yeah, that happened. Third thing, I don't even know what number we're on now. I have gotten scammed of a job probably 5 times now. Basically, I'll go to a job interview. The first one I went to was a real estate brokerage, and this separate guy of this off guy he was hired by this regular brokerage, which is Oxford Property Group, and then there was this other guy. He was Cream Realty, whatever. He was on Indeed. I went for the interview. Nobody knew who he was when I walked in the building. Nobody even knew what the company was. So that was my first ticker. And then after the interview went well, I got a phone call from him saying, hey, fill this out. And basically it was $500 for his class that he teaches or whatever. And I actually ended up almost being a sucker and doing it. I was literally sitting at my computer filling out, and I think I had 3 digits left to put in on my credit card number, and I just had a gut feeling. It was yeah, no. And then I never spoke to the dude again. I said, hey, I wasn't interested, and he never replied back. So just go to show you there. But they've mostly been like that, just really super sketchy companies that actually give me the opportunity for the job. They offer me the job within like the first 2 days, and they're upset when I say, hey, I want to give it a few minutes, or a few days. And it's just, that's huge ticker. But most of them were like that. That was the biggest one, where they wanted me to pay $500 for his classes, and then ended up not doing that, obviously. But and then for the final thing that's happened in this first week, so this is going to be a little bit of a smaller story time, just to lay out the events in which it all happened. So I'm getting off the subway for 2 interviews. I'm getting off the subway in Times Square. That's, where all the big lights are, the screens, where the ball drops, if you don't know anyways. I'm getting off the subway. I'm walking towards the little spiral thingy. The spiral thingy you walk through, the push thing after you put in your card. And out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody, not sure at this point what gender, laying on all fours, like sitting up, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, and in the corner, and all I can tell at the moment is that the person's definitely not wearing pants, which, at the time wasn't the craziest thing I could think of. So my original plan was, before walking through this spiral thingy, was that I'll just, walk by super fast, hide the hand and just walk through, not even look. But unlike every car crash, it's so horrifying that you have to see if everybody's okay, but you really don't want to, but you do anyways. So that's really what happened. I walked through the spiral thingy, and I took a quick glance, and my first impression was up here, and as I walked up the stairs, a woman who walked in front of me was on the phone with 911, and she pulls me over and says, was that a woman giving birth down there? Was that a woman giving birth down there? In case you didn't hear me the first time, was that a woman giving birth down there? That's exactly what I thought it was. Turns out my hunch was true. And this is the part where now I'm scarred for life. Now, knowing me, I've done pretty gross shit in my life, so I had 2 slices of 99-cent pizza about 10 minutes afterwards. But still, this was something that I'll tell my kids, their kids will tell their kids, their kids will tell their kids, and, that's just going to keep going, because that first week in New York. So there's that. And did I mention the coronavirus? I don't know if has that been mentioned? I don't know if you know what that is. Basically, it's this huge viral crisis that's literally destroying all my hopes. And, well, we're not going to say that, but basically, I'm under house arrest. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, I can't go outside. I mean, I can, but everything's closed. So, yeah. But other than that, life's great. So anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed recreating that image, in my head. So, on that note, well, before the end note, so this is the part where there's going to be 2 videos right here, and there's going to be like a circle thingy right here that says, you can click on it, subscribe. You might as well just do that, since apparently 87% of you aren't doing that. It's like literally my face right here. Just click it. It takes 2 seconds, or just scroll down like 2 millimeters, and then just click that works too. Or if you want to do enable notifications, you can do that too. I'm just trying to stay busy here, so